The Quest 3 seems to be off to a pretty successful launch so far, but there has been some issues that people have been having with the headset. Ones like we've pointed out, like not getting as much battery life as we were expecting, obviously the comfort of the stock strap, and apparently other people talking about they're having controller tracking problems, especially in fast-moving games. Although that's one point I can't say I've seen a lot. We're seeing a couple solutions come out to at least help address some of these. In the V59 update that may have already rolled out to you or is still rolling out, we're seeing a battery saver mode that helps a lot with the battery life on the Quest 3. Unfortunately, one of the options that this can utilize is lower graphics output settings on the 3, a 90 Hz refresh rate instead of possibly using the 120, lowering the brightness on the headset, and or disabling the hand tracking. Now, to me personally, this doesn't really feel like much of a solution because all of those things are the reasons why you would buy the more expensive Quest 3 over the Quest 2. So I don't really want to see those options as the solution here, but some people have had great success not using battery saver mode, but just setting up one or even two of these options that they don't feel are as important for their experience and squeezing out a lot more battery life. Comfort, of course, is something that there were already options for, with Meta making their own Elite strap an option. Now that Bobo VR straps are coming out and a lot of other options, at least it is easy to customize the headset for your comfort. And that third issue about the controller tracking, I can't personally attest to, although PC Mag has said that they were ones that were having a lot of issues with it in faster games like Supernatural, and they saw an update come out to the controllers from the headset that seemed to fix this issue for them. In our testing, largely, we were really surprised at how well the Quest 3 controllers were tracking, and so this makes me wonder, were they somehow still on an early pre-build on their Quest 3? Was something not updated on their end for some reason before that most of us never experienced? I don't know, but let me know if you're one of the people out there who had the bad controller tracking at launch and you've seen an update and gotten better, because I'd love to know if people are actually seeing this help them like PC Mag cited. When Echo VR got shut down, it did quite a hit to the VR esports industry, but there's a company that actually started back then because of Echo VR called Vertex Stadium that is looking to change esports completely, flat and VR. Vertex Stadium is a free app for both flat desktop and VR on Steam. It's currently in beta, but what it does is instead of traditional esports where you typically watch through a point of view of different players that are playing, this would allow you to actually go into the arena they are playing in and watch the sport from whatever angle you choose. Whether VR or flat, you're actually moving around the battle arena watching your favorite esports players playing against each other. They've actually got esports tournaments going on right now, even in League of Legends, that you'd actually be able to go check out this weekend. I'll leave a link in the description down below and in the comments in case you want to learn more about this project or where you can get this app for free. As it's in beta, the League of Legends one is still going to be flat, but you can see some views here of Counter-Strike and how they did it, where people could actually not only move around the map like a player, but also even go up above the map. It's a pretty cool idea because not only would it change the way we view esports, but this would open up room for commentators to be able to moving around, switching camera angles, and generally make esports a lot more like actual sports with all the different camera angles and views they can see. Of course, if they can keep up fast enough with changing angles. If you want to see how all this works, check it out this weekend. A big thanks to them for sponsoring today's news. And it's just really cool to see a company like this that's not only trying to change VR, but they're also trying to help with flat esports too and merge the two, because we know the industry needs more of that. The Quest 3 launched without eye tracking due to cost savings, savings of space, and other factors. This has left people speculating, is it possible that we could get an accessory add-on that would add eye tracking to the headset? Meta's CTO Boz was in an Ask Me Anything session and was asked directly, could this be possible? And unfortunately, Boz replied that there's not really a credible way to do it. He said it was something they had thought about, but the problem with eye tracking is you need the entire eye illuminated all the way around, and you have to have multiple cameras inside. So that would basically mean you'd end up having to replace the whole eye cup around the lenses anyways, and it would be something that was too tough to do. He said emotional input tracking or even just mouth tracking would be much more possible, as that's outside of the headset, but didn't see that as being as useful. This is of course not much of a surprise to those of us who have been following the Quest 3's life. They wanted to hit that lower price point. It's a lot more to add in eye tracking, and even without eye tracking and foveated rendering, we've seen the processing power of the Quest 3 looking as good as the Quest Pro with games like Red Matter 2. To me personally, it does make me wonder more, will there be another Quest Pro that has eye tracking that will come down the road? Will that actually be one people want to upgrade from the Quest 3, even if it's at that supposedly higher price point of around $2,000? What do you think? If it's truly an Apple competitor, would you pay $2,000 for it? In addition to the Quest 3 giveaway we already have going on, we made a big announcement this last week when Vario offered to give away one of their premium PCVR headsets, a Vario Aero, for us. So if you somehow missed that announcement, there will be links in the description and down in the top comment below that get you not only to the Quest 3 giveaway, but to that new Vario Aero giveaway. It's really exciting they offered this. Probably one of the biggest things we've ever given away on the channel. The Vario Aero was recently $2,000 and they dropped the price down to $1,000, but it's a great headset for people who do a lot of PC and are wanting to upgrade from a PC dedicated VR headset. Of course, make sure you enter the Quest 3 one if you haven't already, although a ton of you have. It looks like people are really excited about it, and it's all thanks to all of you out there and all of your support. Thank you. OPRAH likes the the Quest 3. Every year, of course, around the holidays, lots of different celebrities and people drop their favorite things holiday gift lists, and OPRAH for the last 2 years has recommended the Quest 2. This year, the Quest 3 is on the list, being named one of OPRAH's favorite things of 2023. Over on OPRAHdaily.com, there's a quote saying, "This headset gives both fully immersive and mixed reality experiences for 500 plus apps." I wonder if she wrote that herself. Great for gaming, or if you're Adam and Gail, a quick game of virtual pickleball at the office. It's obviously great for VR to get any coverage outside of the VR industry itself, so it's cool to see that OPRAH is doing this. Although I don't know how much that's going to with how expensive this is, if that's going to push this a lot further, but hopefully there'll be a lot of Quest 3s under the tree this year. Are you hoping for one? VTubing, for those unfamiliar with the term, is like YouTubing, except you use a virtual avatar instead of your real face. Some of the biggest VR channels actually are technically VTuber channels like Omotea and Make You Move. Now VTubing is about to get a lot easier with the new VStreamer Live app on the Quest, which allows you to do this without using a PC. Traditionally, you always had to do this through a PC, potentially green screening or using locations inside of a game like VRChat. But VStreamer Live, it's a fully functional VTubing studio in the standalone MetaQuest app. And you can use already supported avatars if you've made one on like Ready Player Me, your Meta one, or Vroid, which is really cool for a lot of people out there who want to do something like YouTube but want to remain more anonymous or are just more comfortable as an avatar, especially if they feel like that avatar is more like their real identity than they are. VStreamer Live is available just on App Lab for now. You can totally try it out free, although there will be a watermark. You do have to pay $6 a month as a subscription to get rid of that watermark though. But it gives you YouTube or Twitch live chat inside the headset. You can use the built-in web browser as your background, and it's compatible with multiple types of full body tracking. I haven't gone in and tried this out personally myself yet, but I think it'd be a cool thing to check out just to see what it's like to make videos like this. If you've ever thought about doing any VTubing, this might be a really easy way to do it without having to have a PC involved. We've been talking about the Samsung Google MR headset partnership, and as more and more news comes out, it looks like we might start seeing more about this by mid-2024. A South Korean newspaper actually said that Samsung is planning to announce the headset at an event in the second half of 2024 and launch it the same year in December with a limited initial quantity of just 30,000 units. Upload VR was independently confirmed by Samsung that they plan to launch this thing in late 2024, although 30,000 units wouldn't go very far. This is the headset we've talked about before that Samsung was going to work on, and after they heard what Apple's plans were for the Vision Pro and all of its specs, they went back to the drawing board to make this Samsung headset better to compete and keep up with that. It's even supposed to use OLED micro displays in the headset like the Apple Vision Pro. They also suggest that Samsung's headset could be priced roughly around $2,000, which seems more and more like that price that we're going to see for a lot of spatial computing style headsets to compete with the Apple Vision Pro, even with Meta's supposed Pro headset coming in around $2,000. I feel like at $2,000, that's a whole other market separate from the Quest market itself, but it's a lot more approachable than $3,500 like the Apple Vision Pro. Speaking of the Apple Vision Pro, Tim Cook, the CEO, says it's going to be available in their stores only. This answer was in response to being asked on an earnings call whether the Pro launch would be similar to that of an Apple Watch or AirPods, where Cook responded, basically saying, no, there's just never been a product like the Vision Pro, and so they want to bring it out in their stores to put a great deal of attention on the last mile of it, offering demos in stores and a very different process than the normal grab and go. This of course coincides with information we've talked about before of how the headset may need to be custom fit to each person, and they want to make sure at $3,500 that every person who gets one and takes it home is completely comfortable with how it works, how to use it, and how to make it fit them perfectly. Although the Apple Pro webpage still says available early next year on apple.com and at Apple retail stores in the US, there was news before that it may only be available at stores in big cities like Los Angeles or New York. It definitely seems like this headset is going to be very exclusive, very selective, and very hard to get from the beginning, which is pretty on par with how Apple has launched products in the past, which has garnered them a lot of hype. And then as further products came out lower price points, people jumped on getting those because they felt like they were really able to get a premium product. Basically the opposite of Meta's strategy of making their headsets extremely cheap and available everywhere. We're getting closer to 2024. I'm really hoping to get to try one of these some way or another, whether it's going to one of those cities that have it or whether it's at a trade show. Really hoping to get my hands on one of these and give you some feedback about what it's like. For the PCVR crowd, SteamVR's beta is finally showing the correct controllers for the Quest 3 and Quest Pro now. Whether you've been in old games before and noticed that you're seeing Quest 1 controllers, even sometimes original Oculus Rift controllers, it can be helpful to see the actual controller you're seeing inside the headset, and the new beta update to SteamVR is doing just that. It's a small detail, but it's nice to see SteamVR keeping up with things as they launch. There's a lot going on in the VR space this week, a lot to talk about. What has you excited out there? What did we cover today, or what's something we didn't cover that you'd like to talk about more? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm in the middle of testing a whole bunch more accessories to bring you more accessories for the Quest 3, hopefully some to fix the things we talked about, obviously like battery life and comfort, and some something that won't mess up the tracking, which we found many accessories are doing that. Watch out for that video, enter those giveaways, but thank you most of all for being here with me every day. It's been huge lately. So many people showing up. Thank you. We will see you in another reality.